Do you want to know how the PTE software works? What steps it takes to evaluate your writing responses? Many people think that the PTE AI fails you on purpose and keeps a track of how you did in the previous test to mark your answers. I am going to answer all such questions, and I will break open the AI in front of you and show you how exactly your responses are checked with examples, so that you know what exactly you need to improve in your responses to get a top score in the writing section. Hey everyone, Anurag here from Edutrainex. Hope everyone is doing great. Everyone tells you to do this, do that, use this template, use that template, but no one tells you anything exactly about how the PTE AI is evaluating your responses. With my vast experience on the AI software, I am making an attempt to show you my perceptions on how the PTE AI works for writing. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button and watch the video till the end, because it will be a real eye-opener. PTE calls its software as the CAT engine, K-A-T, and it's an AI software, which means that it learns every day. It is not learning things about you, but it is learning what kind of templates people use and how much original response you have provided. Let's say many people use the same template again and again. So it gets stored in the CAT engine's database. And then when people use the same template, and if you are just adding a few keywords here and there relevant to the writing question, of course, then the PTE AI identifies those templates, and then your extended writing scores drop a lot. And as a result, you get low scores because you used less original words and more of template. Let me give you a full demo of what I mean. In order to understand how the PTE AI works for your writing responses, first thing that you should understand is everything is saved into the database, whatever responses you are providing or whatever the keywords or the data points associated with the question, everything is stored in the database. So on the screen, you can see a transcript of a summarized spoken text audio. These are the information that is already there in the database, and that's how it's able to check whether you have written anything relevant to the topic or not. So first thing that the AI does is saves your response to the database, and then using the information that it already has about the question, it identifies whether you have provided any relevant content or not. And then it checks for certain other things. So for writing, if you write all the letters in capital, something like this, then your response is not evaluated. You are completely given a 0. So make sure you don't write anything in full capitals. And also, you must include some relevant keywords related to the question. Don't think that the AI doesn't know anything about the question and it's not able to evaluate. It does know. And another thing that you need to worry about is the length of the words. So make sure you are following the exact criteria that is defined for that particular task. So for example, in essays, the requirement is 200 to 300 words. But if you write less than 120 words or more than 380 words, then your response is not checked at all. So make sure you are following the guidelines that we have provided to you as per the PTE. Now, once you pass this test, relevance, word count and all capitals, then the AI moves to check your grammar and spelling. This is the main part where your response is actually checked for grammar and spelling. Except summarize written text, all the other writing tasks have the spelling factor in it. But grammar is definitely included in all the writing questions, not talking about write from dictation, but mainly essays, summarize spoken text and summarize written text here. See this sample answer for the summarize spoken text. I have deliberately included two mistakes here, one grammatical mistake and one spelling mistake. Now I'll show you how exactly the AI is checking these things programmatically. So any grammar engine is able to process this kind of mistakes. Let's have a look. What I'm going to do is just copy the information from here and then put it in the grammar engine. The same thing that the PTE is going to do programmatically. So let's see what the grammar engine's response is. Now you see there are two errors highlighted here. The first one is here. You can see the mistake and the description what is given for you. And the same thing is happening for this one. A grammar mistake and a description is provided to you. So that's what happens programmatically behind the scene. Grammars are checked, spellings are checked, and then it is marked appropriately. If you make certain number of mistakes in grammar or spelling, then you start losing points. So that is how the PTE is evaluating your response. After doing these steps, then it moves on to the originality part, the content and the vocabulary. Now see this answer over here. What I've done is I've put the template, what I'm using in black, and the keywords in red. So you can see the total word count of my response is 51 words, out of which template is 25 words and originality is 26 words. So I have used a template, not a problem, but my percentage of originality is around 50%. So that is more than enough. What is a problem here is when people drops their originality score to less than 10%. So most of the response is just template, and then just you are putting some keywords, and that too sometimes repetitive keywords. And the AI is already aware of those templates if you have copied somewhere from the internet, and it is able to identify how much original content you have provided. So which is why I always encourage the students to use a template, but also use some phrases, originality from your side. That way you can boost your score. Now why it is important is because of short writing and extended writing. So if you are writing just short sentences, I can hear this, I can hear this, I can hear this for summarized spoken text question, then that is counted only as short writing. But what PT is expecting from you to give you good marks is also some extended writing. Write longer sentences that have phrases, or if you are able to exhibit some complex or compound sentences, then that is the best part. So it looks at all those factors in your writing responses, and then the final thing that it does is considers all those factors and then calculates a score. Of course, different writing tasks have different criteria for scoring. For summarize written text, there are 4 criteria. For summarize spoken text, there is 5 criteria. And for write essays, there are 7 criteria to mark your response on. With that, we conclude this demo. Now you know exactly how the PTE AI works to evaluate your writing responses. Just keep things simple and focus on the basic skills that are expected from you. This is an English exam. Tricks and templates can definitely help you to a certain extent, but over relying on them and not using enough original words from your own side is not good. So stop worrying. Don't worry about the PTE AI software changes. So don't worry about the PTE AI and the software changes. If you want to understand how it works for speaking, then just watch the video on how the PTE AI works for speaking, a real eye-opener how it evaluates your speaking responses. Till then, hit the subscribe button and keep watching Edutrainex. I will soon be back with another video on how the PTE AI works for essays to show you a detailed evaluation by the software. See you soon.